Hello, everyone. This is Degagne, and welcome to Self-Love and Essential Oils. And I'm so excited to have you to join Celine and I today for another class on emotional balance. If you joined us a couple of days ago, then you know what this class is about. And I just felt like that class was so powerful because not only did we share processes on how to work through your emotions, but we also shared the importance of holistic health with essential oils. And so with that, we're going to share this pretty much a lot of the same things today, but we're going to really share from a perspective. I'm actually going to share my personal experience actually today that I had. But I'm so excited because I believe that we're moving in a time where we really do need to embrace the holistic approach to our healing. And so we're going to really get into that today. Thank you so much to Celine Degagne of Inner Beauty Movement for joining me again today in sharing about the essential oils. So welcome, Celine.
Thank you very much for having me. I'm excited to talk about emotional balance and how it's really, changed your life and how it really changed mine by really incorporating these essential oils as a simple tool in our toolkit when it comes to our emotions.
Yes. So what I want to let you know is the goal of this class today is to support you emotionally. And what the 3 points that we're going to talk about mainly today is emotional awareness, emotional balance, and also connection with essential oils. So I want to get into your emotions are valid. And it's so beautiful how I'm always, and pardon me if you hear someone is mowing the lawn across the street, but I want the beauty in pretty much everything that I share and teach online is that I'm usually the first student or the first person that gets to learn and experience whatever it is that I'm learning and experiencing so that I can share it and teach it and do so from experience. And of course, this emotional work has been something that I've been doing for the last 14 years of my life more intentionally. And so with that, this morning I woke up feeling very overwhelmed, and I actually had some anxiety in my stomach. And I'm always the kind of person that I have to always go within. That's my first reaction is to go within. That's my initial thing. I don't care what's happening outside of me. I always go within and I ask myself, what did I do to create this situation in my life? And so this morning I was trying to figure out, well, what's going on with me? Why do I feel this way? And I heard so clearly, what have you been meditating on day and night? And my answer was simply social media. I've been on social media. I don't watch TV, hardly ever watch TV except football. And so the way I keep up with the world mainly is through social media. Now, I was watching the news when the pandemic first started just to see what was going on. And then I would turn it on and then I would stop watching it for a couple of weeks and go back to it. But for the most part, I get my phone and I scroll through and I'm looking to see what's happening in the world. And I was just telling Celine, not only is it about me getting information, but I'm also in on social media reading people's opinions and reading their frustrations and reading their anger and reading all of their perceptions of what's happening in the world as well. And so I had become very overwhelmed with all of the information, but all of the emotions behind the words that I had been reading. And so for me, I had to do a process, go through my process, the regular process that I go through whenever I feel inundated with negativity or just my emotions are really sensitive. And so for me, what I had to do today, just this morning, was exactly what I talked about on our last class, and that is going within, asking the right questions, and really getting to a point where I can resolve whatever it is that I'm feeling. So I'm not going to tell you that I've resolved everything because I haven't. I still have some feelings, but I've gotten to a place where I can now acknowledge the emotion, feel the emotion, and be okay with how I'm feeling right now, as well as using my essential oil as a tool to help me to process what I'm feeling right now because it's a lot. It's a lot happening in the world with the pandemic, with COVID-19, coronavirus. I usually don't even like to say the words because I don't like putting the energy out, but it is a reality that we have right now. Not only that, but here in the United States, there is some racial unrest happening. And if I can be honest, I helped raise a 22-year-old African American male who, when he gets into his car to go somewhere, I have to pray and hope that he can make it back home. Okay. And so these are realities in my life. And I don't like to necessarily call them realities because my definition of reality is totally different. And that's a whole nother thing that we can get into. But I'm going to say it is a part of my everyday experience. Okay. And so because of all of this, I had become very overwhelmed with my emotions. And so what I had to do was I had to do my process. And my process is to stop, to go within, and to understand, number one, exactly what it says on the screen. My emotions are valid. They validate something in my experience, in my everyday experience. So they validate that, yes, this pandemic is real and that people are still getting infected. And there are people that I know that have recently just, got diagnosed. And it's like, wow, this is really getting close to home. And so now we have to really be more cautious than I have been before as a caregiver, and having to make sure that the person that I take care of, and all of this is just a lot. Another thing is my emotions also validate the fact that, like I said, I have a young man in my life who I really want to make sure that he makes it home every single day, that he goes out into the world. And so, because of that, I had to start sitting with the emotions. And this is the process that I went through actually just this morning, with number one, acknowledging this is what I'm feeling. Now, why am I feeling like this? And so the question came up again, what are you meditating on day and night? So that's a part of the working through and finding the emotional balance, is understanding what have I been thinking about. Because the truth is, our emotions are directly a direct reflection of what we think about on a consistent basis. Your thoughts lead to your emotions, and then your emotions lead to your attitude, which is how you act out that emotion. And so for me, having to just say, okay, you know what? I know, number one, that I've been thinking about all these things that I've been reading about on social media. So then I had to ask the feeling, what are you here to show me about myself? You're here to show me that I have a person in my life that I really care about. I have people in my life that I really care about and love, and that I don't want anything to happen to them. I had to also ask the emotion, what can I do? Ask myself rather, what can I do in this moment to heal the emotion? And for a lot of us, it is because we take things personally. And according to Don Miguel Ruiz of the Five Agreements, we shouldn't really take everything personally. And so for me, I've been taking on everything personally. I know that for a fact, as I get older, I become more of an empath than I've ever been before. And so for me, it's um, not just about watching and seeing. I also have to be careful about what I take in my heart and in my mind and in my spirit. So with me, what another part of that is really paying attention to what I allow to go deeper down inside of me. And I also know too that the more I meditate on these things that are a great concern, the more it does affect my emotions, but my emotions also affect my physical body. And so answering the questions and sitting with those questions today, actually sitting and praying, reading my Bible, also just being quiet, and not even turning on social media apart from just a post about today, about the class today, but just not listening to the news, not reading posts about anything, really started to help me to just find my calm and find my center. And that's what this is all about. So I wanted to share with you, if you read my post on Facebook a few minutes ago, I wanted to share with you the processes that it takes sometimes to get to the emotional balance. And the reason why I say sometimes is because I believe that all of these are effective, they're only effective if you use the tools. And so for me, the tools are to number one, to get quiet. Like I said, get quiet. Number two, go within and listen. What is this here for? Why? What am I feeling? How am I feeling it? And all of that, and even where you're feeling it in your body. Because for me, I woke up with a stomach ache. My stomach never aches, hardly ever. I hardly ever have a stomach ache, but I took it into my stomach. And then, of course, acknowledging it. That's number three, acknowledging it. Number four, accepting it, not ignoring it, not rejecting it, but accepting that emotion. Number five is ask the questions. Why are you here? What are you here to show me about myself? What are you here to show me that I need to heal? What are you here to show me that I need to acknowledge? What are you here to show me that I need to solve or resolve in this moment in my life? And number six is to take action. Now, taking action looks different for everybody. It could be pray, meditate. It could be, just the act of surrendering. It could be the act of actually journaling, talking to a trusted friend, talking to a professional, or even taking the holistic approach and taking some type of, not taking, but utilizing some type of tool. Like I said, I know people who use crystals. I know people who use oils. I know people who use candles and different types of things to move the energy around. And that's another way to take action, is to move the energy, because really all of our emotions is energy in motion. Energy in motion, motion, energy in motion. So the goal is to shift the energy. And so for some people, that could be to dance, or to do yoga, or to exercise, or to do something where you can expel that emotion, or expel the feeling, but also shift your emotional vibration. So we're going to just call it what it is, emotional vibration. So for me, not only did I sit with it and just kind of get my mind together and focus and understand why I felt the way I felt, I also utilized one essential oil that I love, and that's called Balance. And the Balance oil, what I did was I put it under my nose and back of my neck and my palms. And then, of course, I made sure that I just sat for a minute and inhaled it and exhaled it. And so we're going to get into really the benefits of the essential oils in just a moment. And I want to talk specifically about the topical application, because there's something that I want to share with you that's very special to me, that I just believe it really, the using the essential oils in the to aid in your healing really helps. It really can bring you to a place of your center. It could bring you into a place of alignment, so that you can do what you need to do in that moment before you get to before you make a decision that may not be the best decision, or before you get to a breaking point. And so the goal is for you to not get to a breaking point, but to find the balance that you need so that you can deal with life. Because life is happening to all of us, whether we believe it or not, whether we know it or not, whether we're aware or not. Life is happening to all of us. So in order for us to really be what's the word I'm looking for, to be more of an advocate for ourselves and be intentional with the way we are processing through life, then I believe that the essential oils are a great asset. So I'm going to give it to Celine to see if she has anything to add.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Thank you for being so open, being so raw, and being so real and vulnerable with us. To share your personal experience with others, makes us all feel unified in a sense. So for you to share your personal experience, I really appreciate that. And as much as I have a son, I have a son who is white, so I cannot imagine what you go through. So I can't relate on that level, but I just wanted to say that I'm sorry that you're going through something like that, and that my heart goes out to you, because I can imagine feeling that way about my son, being a mother. So I just wanted to say that and honor you for that. And secondly, I've been doing a lot of my own emotional work. I hired my own coach and dealing with my own childhood trauma. And you know, and in the session the other day, I couldn't hold it in, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I tried to be strong, and it was hard for me because as a coach, I'm the one who's seeing my clients cry. So I told her, I said, I feel very vulnerable and I feel very silly in this moment because there's people around the world that are going through so many more difficult things than I am. And she just looked at me and she said that exact sentence, that your emotions are valid. Your emotions are valid. And it helped create a safe place for me to deal with what I was going through. And so I just wanted to share my own experience that, you know, we all have our different traumas and our different pains that we're working through, and that these essential oils, I actually used the oil Forgive and Rose on myself when I had the coaching session yesterday. And it really helped me. I put it on my wrist, and then I rub it on my neck, and then I put it on my heart, because I was, you know, honoring my inner child and honoring, you know, parts of me that couldn't really heal in the past. So thank you for opening that up. And I just want to share my personal experience with the oils as well. And I want to explain what happens to our body physically when we don't feel our emotions. So Jacqueline did a beautiful way of what happens when we are in the moment feeling our emotions. But I want to take a step back to explain what happens to our body when we hold on to that emotion and we don't release it. So when I went through my spiritual awakening and going through my own healing, which is always ongoing, I was listening a lot to Dr. Joe Dispenza. If you haven't heard of him, he's an incredible mentor of mine. And Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about, you know, always gives a story about a gazelle who's eating grass, you know, in a field. And everything's peaceful, nothing's going wrong. Then all of a sudden a lion comes behind this gazelle. So the gazelle, the physical body of the gazelle changes, right? So the heart rate goes up and it becomes in what's called a fight or flight. So when we are stressed and we activate the cortisol levels in our body, our heart rate starts to go up. We start sweating more, and we get prepared physically to either fight or flight. The gazelle understands that it cannot fight the lion. It will never win. So it starts running as fast as it can. And then as soon as the gazelle loses the lion, what happens is the heart rate starts slowing down, and the gazelle is in tune with its own emotions and in tune with its body, so it's able to release the emotion and calm itself down, right? And in these moments, this is where the essential oil comes in as humans. But let's keep talking about the gazelle for a second. So the body calms down, and then the cortisol levels diminish, and the gazelle starts eating grass like nothing ever happened. It forgets about the lion, and that's the beauty of animals. And in my coaching session this week, one of the beautiful women that we were working through her childhood trauma, she talked about her dog Tessa, and how her dog was always, you know, showing her unconditional love and allowing her to feel anything that she felt. And the dog never judged her for anything. And I was like, that's the power of animals, is that they live in the present moment. So how can we tap into what Jacqueline says, center ourselves and tap into the present moment, still honor our emotions, but have a way to release it so that we don't hold on to that emotion? So think about the gazelle. If it would hold on to that story of the lion, it would be eating grass and it would be thinking about the lion, and would activate that stress level, the cortisol levels in his body, without even the lion being around. That's what we do as humans if we don't deal with the emotions. And I want you to know that it's okay if you didn't feel strong enough. It's okay if you didn't feel brave enough to feel the emotions. This is really deep work that happens. And, you know, my approach with Inner Beauty is a very kind of like a child. You don't ask a child to run a marathon. You show a child how to crawl first and then walk first. And you give a lot of love and a lot of encouragement. So really, Jacqueline and I, as self-love coach, we teach that. How can we give that to ourselves, what a child would need? All right, so that's what happens in our body. So if we are constantly in that fight or flight mode, what happens is our body physically holds on to the energy and it has nowhere to go. So then it actually affects our cells in our body, and our cells, our body is always healing. So our cells are always rejuvenating. Our cells have a life. And if they don't die off properly in our body because of being in that stress mode all the time, then what happens is those cells become mutated. And then eventually it turns into physical pain, and then eventually physical diseases. And this is all again cited by Dr. Joe Dispenza. So if you want any more information on that, you can go see and check him out. Now, where do the essential oils play a role in this? So I want to give an example of, they're really called pattern interrupts. So when we think about the gazelle, right, who is able to calm body down and start eating grass again like nothing happened, as human, let's say something happened. Somebody said something that triggered us and triggered our trauma or triggered our pain, whatever it is that we're dealing with, right? What happens is our brain starts to think thoughts that are similar to that. And it starts going worst case scenario and repeats that trauma, repeats that pain over and over again. So think of a hamster on a hamster wheel. And it's almost like I call it spiraling. And we almost need to catch it before we fall down the spiral, because Degagne, I'm sure you could attest that once you head down that spiral, and Abraham Hicks talks about this, it's like once you jump out of the airplane, it's hard to, you've jumped. So it's hard to stop that momentum, right? So as soon as you catch yourself thinking these thoughts is where you want to grab your essential oil before you start going down that rabbit hole. So think of that hamster on a hamster wheel who keeps running. You keep thinking these thoughts that repeat the same pain that you're feeling, because that's how our mind works, right? Our mind is very addicted to the stress. So what we need to do is we almost need to get a stick and put it in that hamster wheel, which is what's called a pattern interrupt. We need to stop that cycle of thoughts. And this is the power of the essential oils. It acts as that pattern interrupt for you. So it gives you a chance to breathe, like Degagne said. When she put the balance on her nose, she gave herself a chance. She could catch her thoughts spiraling out of control. And she said, whoa, hold on a second here. I'm just going to take a moment to ground myself. I'm going to grab my essential oil, apply it wherever you need it on your body, and we'll show you how to do that next. And then what happens is you give yourself a chance to calm down the body. So you remove it from fight or flight, the stress, to more of a calmer environment, so that you can do the breath work, you can do the journaling, you can do whatever activity, self-care activity that works for you, and start thinking different thoughts. So you want to accept the emotion, yes, but once you've accepted it, or maybe you're not strong enough to accept it and you just know it's there, and you put it on the shelf for later. And that's a whole different video for a whole different day, but just honoring it and being aware of it is the most important thing. And then you're able to do the work of, focusing your attention on something else, especially if you don't have the energy to deal with the emotion right away, or maybe you have a child that needs your attention, or maybe you're at work, or whatever situation you may be in. I just want you to know that it's okay if you decide not to feel it in the moment. Just acknowledge it and put it on the shelf, and the universe will recycle that over and over again with different people, different situations, so that you can truly transcend that pain, that fear, or the trauma that you've experienced. So to circle back, these are powerful holistic tools that you can use as pattern interrupts for you. And there's actual scientific background that we can provide you from doTERRA, clinical studies that show that these actually physically and calm your body down. So it doesn't just help the mind, but it actually helps the body, the cortisol levels, everything that makes you stress, it helps calm yourself down. So that being said, I just want to leave you with one more very unique activity, is that our mind doesn't know the difference between what's actually happening in real life or what you portray in your mind. So it's a very powerful tool, and Dr. Joe Dispenza talks about this, and I've utilized this at nighttime, especially before I go to bed. So I'll give you an example. So let's say you're about to go to bed. This is really where I develop I use the essential oils, is before I go to bed, let's say you had a stressful day and you're in bed and you're in a safe place, but your mind starts thinking about what happened during the day, or it might go back to that stressful situation, or maybe it goes back to your pain or goes back to your trauma. And then what happens is the body again starts to release the cortisol levels. Your body starts to react to your thoughts. And it's proven because your palms start sweating, right? Your heart rate goes up. You feel the pit in your stomach. So your body is physically reacting to your mind and your thoughts, even though you look around and there's no tiger in the room, or there's nothing happening in the present moment. So this is the power of your mind. And the reason why Degagne wanted to do an emotions class, and I was so excited to collaborate with her, is because our mind is a very powerful tool. And it's one thing to feel your feelings and honor in the moment, yes. But once you've acknowledged and you've accepted it, you might not forgive or accept what happened to you, but you can accept the emotion that you're feeling. Your emotions are valid. Those are two different things. And once you do that, you have the power to reprogram your mind. and to really step into, you know, the easiness of the essential oils. To all you need to do is calm your body down in the moment. And the more you do that, the more you actually reprogram your mind in the moment, right? So these are the power behind the essential oils. And I'm really excited to dive into each individual oil and how they can really help you along your journey of really, you know, embracing all of your emotions, the light and the darkness.
Yes.
So is there anything else you want to add, Jacqueline?
No, I think that's beautiful. And especially when you say that, you know, the pardon me, the um the pattern interrupt, because sometimes that's what we need right in that moment. It's just the interruption to stop the downward spiral. And so that's what the essential oils can do. And that's exactly what it did for me today. It really helped me to just get a hold of myself so that I can be okay and then move on with my day until I can go back and sit even more with what I felt and what I dealt with earlier today.
And Jacqueline, you know, one more thing that I think is important that you just made me think of is that sometimes we're scared to feel our emotions because we feel that we become that emotion. We feel like if we become angry, we will be anger and it will take over us, right? Because of past situations. So to create that space that you are observing your emotions, I think is key too. So that is what the pattern interrupt helps you to do. It helps you create space between your feeling and yourself, because you are the human experiencing the emotion. But as humans, we get lost in the emotion. And I think that this is very powerful, is to create that space as a pattern interrupt as well.
Yes.
So,
You know, I'm glad you said that, because that's also when we get into judging ourselves and judging
yes.
ourselves as a bad person for feeling a certain way. And we don't have to feel that we're a bad person for having a certain feeling.
Beautiful.
So what we're going to get into now is I want to talk about three things about essential oils, and then the next I'm going to tell you three ways to use essential oils. Number one, the three things is, number one, they are safe, so they're 100% natural and safe by doTERRA. No side effects and non-addicting. They are extracted from plants with amazing health benefits. I say this all the time. Everything that we need to heal any type of illness or dis-ease, and I'm saying dis-ease as in not just disease in your body, but dis-ease in your emotions, are they're found in the earth. And so the oils are extracted from plants that has amazing health benefits, and they're also certified pure therapeutic grade. They are pure and they are potent. Also, they are effective. These oils can actually penetrate the cell membrane, because they are, you know, the cell membrane is oil based, or yes, oil based. And so they work with your cell membranes, penetrate the cell membrane, and they are more effective than modern approaches to health product problems. And also the essential oils, they permeate the cell membrane. Just said that. The next thing is they are affordable. Yes, more affordable than traditional medical care. Pennies per dose, and they have save hundreds of dollars a year in your medical costs, because you can use it for risk management. You can use it for preventative care. There are so many ways that you can use the essential oil. The next is three ways to use the essential oils. Number one, aromatic, infuse or inhale, and they have positive effects on your mood. They cleanse the air, and they also support your respiratory system. Number two, you can use them topically, apply to affected areas for localized benefits, but also you can dilute with fractionated coconut oil for best results. And the oils that we're going to present to you today for your emotional balance, they are already diluted, and you can just use them straight out the roller bottle that you will get. And then, of course, you can use them internally by enjoying a few drops in water. I take drops in my tea. Sometimes I do in water. Sometimes if I'm drinking maybe lemonade, I may add one drop or two drops of maybe frankincense or something to my lemonade, and then also use under your tongue as well. So I wanted to talk really quickly about the the aromatic benefit really quickly because this is something I felt led to share today. These pearls here, these were my mom's. My mom passed away. It will be all 20 years next month. And these pearls, they still smell just like her. Every time I get to where I miss her or want to talk to her or want to have a, some type of, I'm going to say interaction with her, I'll actually get these and I inhale them and they take me back to my childhood. They take me back to my young adulthood when, the last interactions that I had with her. And so I wanted to use this to show you the potency and the power of smell. And although, yes, these oils, they can penetrate the membrane and all of that, the aroma of the oils can really benefit you. There's a certain scent that I use. Actually, it's lavender and vanilla is the only scent that I use whenever I'm having my meditation time. And I've been doing that for years. I used to do it with candles, and I still do have a couple of candles, but those are two scents that I use, and it always sparks that time in my mind. I teach this all the time to my ladies who have families that if you're doing a certain activity with your family, include a certain scent with that, so that when your family, it'll be years from now, they smell that scent, it'll take them back to their childhood and say, I remember when I was a child and we had family nights and my mother would always put on cinnamon or vanilla or whatever. It really does play a part. It actually sparks something in your brain to take you back into your memory, which again, I don't want to get into too many details because I do talk about the components of the soul in Self Love University, but one of the components of the soul is the memory. And a lot of times we've used the memory to reflect on bad things as opposed to really reflecting on the good things. And so that's what the aromas of the essential oils can do for you as well. Would you like to add anything?
No, that was beautiful.
Yay. Okay. So let's talk about your top 3 emotional concerns. So whatever your emotional concerns are right now, I want you to write them down. Think about them, write them down. Again, don't judge yourself, and this is not a time for you to deal with them right now. I just want you to acknowledge them. These are my top 3 emotional concerns. And know this, that when you're aware of your emotions, that's a fundamental key to self-care. And the self-care is the action that you take in order to heal or in order to become empowered or in order to realign with yourself. So think about your top 3 emotional concerns, and I want you to do an assignment with me, and that is email me, and I'm going to give you my information later, your top 3 emotional concerns. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to reply to your email with top 3 oils that you can use when it regards to your emotional concerns. Now, we're going to talk about some oils in just a moment, but I wanted you to do this because I want you to know that there is help for you. Whatever your emotional concerns are, there is help in essential oils for you. So we're going to get into feeling awesome, and the foundation begins with with vitamins, and then we're going to get into the essential oils.
Okay, perfect. So as Jacqueline mentioned, essential oils are a beautiful holistic tool that we can use to help us during our times that we're dealing with our emotions. But at the same time, we need a beautiful foundation. And when we think about this, essential oils is almost like a Band-Aid, right? So every time that you're feeling something, it's beautiful to use these beautiful oils in the moment. So think of in the moment tools, but there's an underlying foundation to that. What is causing that anxiety that you're feeling every day? So it's beautiful to use the emotional oils during those times, but what is the root cause to your emotion, right? This is where the vitamins come in. Same role is that the oils do play an important role of in the moment tools, but to create that beautiful foundation with our body, doTERRA came up with vitamins to really help your body get everything that it needs to thrive. So doTERRA, this is actually doTERRA's #1 product, and it has a 30-day money-back guaranteed. So if you take the full dose after 30 days and you're not satisfied, you get your money back. So doTERRA has that guarantee for you. But what is the LLV, which is the lifelong vitality? There's 3 things that come with it. It's a microplex VMZ. It's a whole food nutrient, multivitamin, and mineral. So think of when I went to convention last year in Utah, they had a full grocery cart filled with food. And they were explaining that for our body to really get what it needs, it would have to eat everything in the grocery cart. So long story short, our soil is depleted, right? So unless you're farming or you're buying organic, even then, you know, there's so many toxins and the food's not growing the way it was 100 years ago. So our body is not really receiving the nutrients, even if we are eating a well-balanced diet. So this is where the Microplex VMZ will just help you fill in those gaps that you need it most within your body. And what I love about these vitamins is that it helps also absorb the essential oils and pass them through your body more effectively when taking the vitamins. So you also have our second one, which is Alpha CRS. That is your antioxidant, cellular energy, and longevity. And this is to protect you from any external or internal threats. So think of, for example, toxins in the air, or if you're using a lot of toxic products, maybe it's, you know, your shampoo or your cleaning products, anything externally that's a threat to you, the Alpha CRS will protect your cells. Think of internal, so stress, right? So stress causes your cells to not function properly. So the Alpha CRS really helps you with your stress as well. So if you're feeling a lot of stress or anxiety, the vitamins are going to be a really good foundation for you as well to help assist in you in that. So just to talk about, you know, how our body's always healing and our cells always have this reproduction of life. If for whatever reason we're under a lot of stress or we have environmental threats or we're not getting the nutrition that we need, the cells cannot die off properly within our body. So the Alpha CRS helps that reproduction of our cells to happen naturally and the way it's supposed to be. So the cell dies off properly and then new cells can come in. Because again, our body's always healing, but it's the stress levels within our body that prevents us from healing. So then we have the Biomega, which is omega-3, 6, and 9 fatty acids. And there's also 9 essential oils found in that as well. So think of that as your brain food. And as much as we talk about the brain with Biomega, right, because we can't eat always the fish and to intake the biomegas that our bodies needs, it's really, really important also for the inflammation. So it reduces the inflammation in our body, and we all know that stress causes inflammation. So it's a beautiful way if you're feeling very stressed, yes, do what Degagne is showing, to take Biomega. The last thing I love about this is that it doesn't taste like fish oils. So I've taken a lot of different vitamins in my lifetime, and I really love doTERRA's because of the taste. And last but not least, I just want you to know that the FDA does not regulate vitamins in the US or in Canada. So whatever they say on the package, it's not regulated. So a lot of times if you're buying it off the shelf or the grocery store or health food stores, they are not 100% accurate in their information. So I always say do your research 100%, but this is why we trust doTERRA, because they make sure that what they put in the bottles is actually what's in there. There's no fillers. So what you're taking in is actually, there's healing benefits for your body.
And if I can add also to usually the vitamins that we purchase from the drugstore, they don't absorb in our bodies effectively.
100% because of all the fillers, right? Yeah. Okay, so let's get into the oils. So I will explain cheer. Cheer helps gladdening, illuminating. It helps you become resilient. So this top uses helps you with your depression, discouragement, and anxiety. To give a personal testimonial about this is when I went through my separation with my partner. Obviously we've tried everything that we could, and we decided it was best if we were apart. But this cheer really helped me on the days that I was feeling very lost and I was feeling very discouraged. I couldn't even get out the door at times. And a lot of times, you know, I had my son, and before he went to school, I just needed that extra boost of energy to be present for him, right? So this, putting it on topically, especially on my heart, on my wrist, and inhaling it, really helped cheer my mood up and really just helped even give me that little bit of hope that I needed to just get through the day. So this was a really important oil. And if you like the smell of root beer, this is what it smells like. It's a very unique smell. But if you're having a very gloomy day and you need to pick me up, Cheer is a very powerful oil for you to use topically on your skin. Console. Okay, so console is one for if you're feeling if you're wanting sustaining, reconciling, or alleviating, if you're feeling grief or any sadness in your life, or if you need reassurance. So when we were going through, again, I used that separation, my son, so he's going to be 6 in July, but it happened, I think, when he was 4, so he's still pretty young. 3 or 4, and the console really helped him through that transition in his life. So he's a July, so he's Cancer, which is his astrological sign. So Cancers are very sensitive souls, right? So for him, he's, whatever he's experiencing, he experiences at its fullest. He just cries and doesn't stop, and I'm honoring his feelings 100%. But this was a very powerful tool for him to use through those transitional moments, for him to release his anxiety so he can at least get on the bus and go to school, right? So he would even carry this in his school bag. I would talk to the teachers and ask if he can have this to console him throughout the days that he was feeling very, very sad, and for myself as well. So kids are very intuitive, and I didn't realize this until I saw my kid. But he would smell all the oils, and then he would pick the one that he would need. And at a young age, he can't read, right? So he would pick console when he was crying. So by the smell, my kid knew what was best for him. And this is where I felt inspired, and now I do this every day, is if you don't know, use your sensory system, and your intuition will guide you to what oil that you need based on how it smells. If you're really attracted to the smell, that's what your cells need in order to thrive. So we don't have to overcomplicate it. You can just usually use your sense of smell to know really what your body needs in the moment. But this is really to help you through transition, through grief, or through any sadness that you're feeling.
So I want to talk about forgive, and this is a renewing blend to relieve, release, and to liberate. You use it when you're doing forgiveness work, is what I like to call it. And also when you're wanting to release any attachments, or you're holding on and you have any type of anxiety in your life, then you use the forgive touch oil. And what I believe is that forgiveness is not just about forgiving other people, but also forgiving yourself. And so if you're doing any type of inner work that you feel like you need to forgive anything, any person, any situation, including yourself, then this is a great blend to use when it comes to doing that work. Also, motivate. Motivate is something that I love. I have this class called How to Boost Yourself Through Self Motivation, or something like that. It's from many, many, many years ago. But sometimes we just need to be able to motivate ourselves. And so it takes something like this, motivate, an encouraging blend for motivation, energizing, and in believing in yourself. And the top uses for this is lack of confidence, courage or motivation, also confusion and overwhelm. So if you just need a pick me up, if you're at work and you don't feel like you're motivated, or even if you're not at work, a physical work, but you work from home and you need a little motivation, put on that motivate and go on with your day. It will definitely help you.
Okay, so passion is our inspiring blend. This helps with spontaneous, enlivening, and daring. And the top uses are when you're feeling depressed, or you have energy issues, if you have low libido, or if you're trying to improve your sexual performance. So passion is a very beautiful and unique smell. It has cinnamon to it too, which helps with all of those aspects. And to give a personal story on this, for passion, when after my separation, I was feeling very lost. And as a woman, I never really did anything for myself. I lived for my family, my business, and my son, and I lost who I was, right? So I went to go find my soul, let's say. I went soul searching, and I got an inspiration to go to Greece by myself. And as a woman, being really young, never traveling the world by myself, I decided to bring passion with me. And it really gave me that, how'd you say that enlivening touch. and it really made me feel daring. I remember I was watching Eat, Love, Pray on there and just really finding myself. So this really gave me like that boost that I needed. And really, that trip was life transforming for me. But this really helped me on those little micro steps that I need to take to really follow through with this beautiful experience. So if you're looking for a little passion in your life, or if you're looking to spice things up, whatever it may be with your sexual energy, I feel like that's very important for women as well, right? And when we talk about holistic healing, we're talking about all areas of our life. And sometimes we feel ashamed, depending on what we went through or what our parents went through or what our grandparents been through, you know? We don't openly talk about that. So this is a beautiful, you know, secretive way, if you're a very private person, to use this oil to help you with your sexual energy. Okay. And even if you want to be passionate at work or passionate with, you know, or with your creativity, it doesn't matter what it may be. It's just that sexual energy really brings passion to different things in your life, right? So you can use this in different areas, and it's a beautiful oil to have.
And so next I want to talk about peace, and peace encourages you to be brave, composed, and flowing. Also, the top uses are for insecurity, worry, nervousness, and irritability, but it also helps you release fear and worry while fostering a sense of safety. And a lot of times, when we have those worries, it's because we don't feel safe. When we have those anxieties, it's because we don't feel safe. So if you're wanting to foster that feeling of safety and really honing in on just being at peace with where you are in the moment, then peace is a wonderful blend that you can get for yourself. So now I want to get into the top 3 ways to purchase your essential oils. Number one is the retail. We all know what retail is. You go to a retail store, you pay the price for retail. It is the most expensive. You only pay retail in professional settings. The second one is wholesale. That is, you get for wholesale, you get the best products for you, the great price. It's usually 25%. Well, with doTERRA, it's 25% below retail. So you would pay for, let's say, one essential oil one price, you'll have 25% off if you decide to do the LRP. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. And Celine is going to get more into details with that. But that's the wholesale. And then, of course, well, actually, wholesale is not with LRP. So let me get that clear. Wholesale is not with LRP. Wholesale with LRP would be number 3, and that is you get the points for free products. So you'll pay 25% less, but you'll also get, you'll earn free products with the loyalty rewards program, LRP. And so Celine is going to share with you more about that. But before we get into that, I just want to let you know what you can expect from me, regardless of whether you do retail, wholesale, or wholesale and the LRP. What you can expect from me is a welcome pack, and I'm going to welcome you. You're going to get a personal consultation before and after you receive your oils and vitamins. And also, you're going to be given access to a VIP education group on Facebook, as well as be a part of our beautiful community. We have a beautiful community. And also some giveaways from time to time. Plus, you're also going to receive my ongoing support via text message, via email, and any type of other support that you need as you are transitioning into the holistic lifestyle with the essential oils. So,
okay.
There we go.
Perfect. We started talking at the same time. Okay. Well, do you want free products? So let's talk about LRP, Loyalty Rewards Program. That's what Degagne was referring to, number 3. And the beauty of this is that it's delivered right to your door. I'm on my cell phone, unfortunately, because my computer was dead and I can't read the bottom line. So Degagne, can you just read the bottom line?
Delivered right to your door in the comfort of your own home.
Thank you. Note to self, use my computer next time. All right. And with this COVID, this is a beautiful thing. So anything that you would get normally, like at the grocery store or at a, you know, like a Costco or Sam's or wherever it is that you are in the US, what the beauty thing of this is that it's delivered right to your door. So it saves you from getting out of your house, especially during COVID. So if Degagne can show us the next slide, I'm going to show you exactly how you can get your LRP right to your door. So it's a very simple system. So when you think about it,
There we
That's
go.
okay. We got excited. So when you think about it, LRP is, let's just keep it simple, but it's a monthly order. So think of it like a Costco membership. You pay in the US is $35 unless you invest in a kit, which already has that membership. We'll talk about that after. But it's a monthly order that you do, and you get points back based on how much you order per month. So bottom line, to keep it simple, you need to have 50 points. So there's a pointing system. So for every product that you buy, there's a point attached to it. And the reason why doTERRA did this is because we have so many different markets in so many different countries that, like, for example, I'm in Canada and Deagne's from the US. So when we talk about points, it just makes everything easier worldwide. So think of points, right? So if you have 50 points every month, right, we'll talk about that. And that's actually the vitamins, which we'll get into later. But if you have 50 points per month, you climb up the scale that you see at the top of this graphic. So you see within the first 3 months, you get 10% back. The month 4 to 6, you get 15% back. 7 to 9 months, you get 20% back, so on and so forth. So by the end of the year, you'll get 30% back on every purchase that you get. So for example, if you spend $100, you'll get $30 back in points that you can buy your shampoo, you can buy your cleaning products. And this is actually going to help your holistic lifestyle because it's not just about the vitamins and the essential oils, right? doTERRA has a line of products to really help you create that whole lifestyle, the whole different pillars in your self-care routine. So that's the bottom line, how you invest in the LRP. But to get more details, to really stay and keep your points, you need to just have one point in your monthly order. So let's say, for example, you're halfway through the year and you're at 20%. And for this month, for whatever reason, finances are tight and you can't afford your LRP that month, you can literally just put 1 point. I like to put a lemon, which is about $10 in Canadian. It's a very small cost, or Ellipso, let's say. And then you get to keep all your points. You don't lose them, right? But you don't climb up the scale anymore. So you can always do that, and you can do it for a few months. And then if you want to restart, you can totally restart and start doing 50 points again and start climbing up the scale again. Okay. If we want to move forward, if you want to start earning commissions like Degagne and I, you put in 100 points every single month, and you're able to build this beautiful business and earn commissions. If you want, you can put in 125 points before the 15th of the month. So rule of thumb, Degagne will set you up, but it's before the 15th. Anytime before that, you get a free product of the month. So it depends. I know Degagne got the citrus bloom that was presented earlier. I think it was last month. But every month there's a certain oil that you can get for free if you do a 125 point order. Now, if you want to move up the scale to 200 points, then what happens is 200 points, for example, last November, I believe it was, we got a free frankincense. And we all know frankincense is the king of oils. So there's certain months at doTERRA, and you'll get the email on this, gives away beautiful products the more points that you put in. So this is kind of like a special one that doTERRA does, a promo offer that you can get 200 points if you wanted to certain times of the month. So everything will be taken care of with Degagne. She'll walk you through this process. But at the end of the day, the beautiful part about this is that you can really purchase different types of products for your home and get points back, and it's delivered right to your door. All right, so if you are, oh, actually, Degagne, did you want to take care of this slide?
I'll let you do this one.
Let me do this. Okay. So if you haven't started with doTERRA yet, that's perfectly okay. That's what we're here for. We're here to walk you through that process. So Degagne and I highly recommend the Healthy Habits Kit. The reason why we love this kit is because it has the vitamins. So again, you can take any essential oil that you want for in-the-moment tools, but if you don't have the foundation, right, your body's not going to thrive the way it's supposed to thrive. So this kit, very simply, has the vitamins that you need. It has the TerraZymes, which helps you digest your food. So if you eat a lot of sugars or processed food, the TerraZymes add extra enzymes within your body just to help break down the food so you can pass the food more effectively. And then you've got your probiotics, which is beautiful for your immune system and for your gut flora. So the PB Assist is included in that. And then you have the 5 beautiful oils to help you with your emotions. So lavender's for stress or anxiety, or if you need help with sleep. Frankincense, the king of oils that we mentioned, combine it with any other oil and it's very powerful. It helps you with your meditation. It can pass through the blood-brain barrier. So if you're having any issues with your cells, frankincense is a beautiful oil for your additions with your cells. We've got balance that helps balance your emotions. That's why I call balance. Put at the bottom of your feet, or like Degagne said, on your nose and your ears. Take deep breaths, and it helps with any emotion you're feeling. You've got the lemon you can put in your water to help with your digestive system. And lemon's a very positive oil to help uplift your mood. And if you got On Guard, that's anything to do with your immune system. So this is a beautiful starter package if you haven't started yet, because it includes the vitamins. And then on top of that, we can add all 5 of the beautiful aromatherapy oils, the emotional oils that we've talked about, or individual ones based on how you want to feel, right?
Which leads to, oh, I want to talk about the price for this one.
Oh,
this
yes.
one is $195 US, and you'll save how much? Because I don't know what the retail is.
So if you would buy all individual products, it would cost you an extra $75. So the beautiful thing about this kit is you actually save $75, and it also has a $35 membership included on top of that. So you're getting the best bang for your buck, I guess the saying is, with this kit if you're first starting out. And we can add any of the emotional oils on top of that.
So basically it's $110 savings, because it's $35 plus the $75.
Yes.
So you'll save that if you start with this kit right here. Plus you'll be on the, you can get put on the LRP, and this is your points for the first month.
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah. So you would, if you are investing in this to start off, then what we would do is we would set up your LRP with at least the vitamins, right? Because we want to create that beautiful foundation within your body. And then if you want, let's say you're starting, you can start with this kit for financial reasons. And then you can start off with the emotional kit and the vitamins the next month. Right? So Degagne will help you set yourself up for 3 months based on your financial capability. We're all in a different place. So we're here to work for you. What works best within your budget, what you're comfortable with, and what emotions you're really, really working with, right? Yeah. So you could start with this and then add anything else on top on your LRP so that you can start collecting the points back.
And your second option, well, it's actually not your second option. It's the second option we're presenting to you today, because again, you can do individual oils, or you can do the vitamins and specific oils, or you can do the healthy habits kit. So the options that you have is limitless. But the second offer that we want to offer you today is the emotional therapy touch kit, which has all of the oils that we just talked about. It's called the emotional aromatherapy touch kit. Experience the benefits of each doTERRA emotional oil blend in a convenient touch format, which is the roller bottle that you can just roll right on your wrist, behind your neck, on your chest, or wherever you need to rub it on. And it comes with the 6 different oils. Now this is $100 for this kit, and that's it. However, with this, it's actually retails at $133.33. But this kit does not come with the LRP sign up, the wholesale sign up, the membership. So you will have to pay an additional $35 if you want to become a part of that. So this is something that we want to offer you. It's good to have all of these together so that you can, just like she talked about earlier, pick what you need in the moment and use it in whatever situation that you're in to use it. Or carry it in your purse. If you know that you are going through something where you really need to be consoled, carry it in your purse. If you know you're really facing something where you need that passion or that motivation, carry it in your purse and use it whenever you need to use it. So you can get with me about getting this today. I'm going to share with you ways that you can contact me so that we can get you started today. So I want to talk about the 3 people who take part in doTERRA. And those are, number 1, the people that want to live with doTERRA. In other words, make this a part of your wellness lifestyle. And the beauty in it is that it's not just about the oils. It's not even just about the vitamins. doTERRA also has skincare line. doTERRA also has household cleaning products. There are so many things that doTERRA offers. So if you want to just create a holistic lifestyle for you and your family, and you want to live with the oils, then that's perfectly okay. The next person is the person who wants to share. That is to get your products paid for by hosting a class just like the one you're attending today. So all you have to do is get with me and I can give you some more information about sharing and how you can get your products paid for. Also, if you decide to host a party or a class, I'm not going to call it a party because right now, due to social distancing, I'm just doing classes. But if you want to host a class and you have 5 or more people to attend, then you will get a free adaptive touch essential oil, same in the roller bottle from me as a gift for, Celine is showing it now, for hosting a class for any person that you feel could benefit from the essential oils. And the last, of course, Celine talked about this, is earning commission. So building with essential oils to earn an income. And not only will you earn an income, you'll make an impact. Like today, we're making an impact by sharing the oils for your emotional balance. So those are the 3 ways or the 3 people that are a part of doTERRA. So let me know which person you are. But I want to just talk about really quickly the power of emotional balance. The power of emotional balance is being aware of your emotions and doing what it takes to get yourself back into, I would say, alignment, or back into awareness, back into whatever your center is. Everybody's center is totally different. And you know when you're off, and another person will know when they're off. But the power in you lies in your ability to know when you're off balance and get back into um, the proper balance or alignment that you need. And only you know that. So the goal is for you to not only become aware, but also intuitively connect with your intuition to find a way that you can really get back into your emotional balanced self. And how do you get started? So number one, you can email me. I am deaquilin@gmail.com. IAMDEAQUELYNN@gmail.com. You can also text me. I am in the United States, 205-730-6330. Or you can also book your free consultation. Now, with the booking your free consultation, if also you want to build, there's a checkbox. So you can say, I want to live with, I want to share, or I want to build. And we can talk about that in your consultation. So if, let's say, you may not want to purchase an oil today, but you want to share so that you can maybe get the free adaptive oil that I'm going to gift you, then still fill out the form so that I can know exactly where you are and we can talk about how to share. So that link is bit.ly/my essential life. That's 2 L's, essential life. And also, if you're watching this and a person from doTERRA, a doTERRA representative recommended that you come to this class, then get with your representative so that they can get you started on the packages or the vitamins or the oils or anything like that. So do you have anything to add before we sign off? I should
No.
change the slide. The next class.
That's okay. We don't know yet. It'll be a surprise.
Right.
I just want to say thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in, for honoring yourself and taking the time to really join us and learn more about your, how you can make your life a little bit more holistic and what tools you can use to really create the transformation. And transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's an ongoing process. It lasts our entire life. And so we are honored that, you chose us and you chose to join us today, because as much as we love presenting, you bring a certain energy to the room, even if we are far away or maybe halfway across the world from each other, we can still feel your presence and we can still feel your energy. So thank you for showing up with an open heart. And Degagne, thank you for having me on this class today.
Yes, thank you for being a part of class today. I really appreciate your insight and I value everything that you say and everything that you share because I know that you've been living with the oils a lot longer than I have. Actually, you introduced me to the oils, but also your experience and the way that you work with your clients and work with people in general really inspires me. So thank you so much for being a part of these classes. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And to anyone who's watching, thank you so much for taking time out to watch this video. I do hope that something was said to encourage you. And again, if you need to reach out to me, feel free to reach out to me. I am here to support you, whatever in whatever capacity, whether it is coaching, whether it is through essential oils, or if you just need somebody to just rant to for 5 or 10 minutes and just I just need to get this off my chest, reach out to me and we can talk you through whatever it is that you're going through or growing through is what I like to say. So thank you so much and stay tuned. I will post the next class on my social media and also send emails. So take care and God bless you.